wait to film a new intro.
I was gonna say we're gonna have to do a new intro soon.
We are going to have to do a new intro soon.
Yeah, Fro's getting a new car.
Let's get together and do a new intro.
Let's do it before something.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I had a good weekend hanging out with my friends and working on my car, so I'm totally down for that.
Yep.
What are you guys doing?
Hanging out. Done for the day.
No.
Not enough.
John looks like he's hanging out in the study of an institute for higher learning.
This is a house of learned doctors.
Does that room smell of rich mahogany?
Several leather-bound books are in there.
I knew it.
Shanda revitalized the office space. Now she's got me perched over at this built-in thing. It's like a built-in desk cabinet area. Very good lighting. So that's kind of nice.
I like it.
I like it. We've just been kind of working around the house.
Yeah.
I had big plans doing a little bit of hot rod stuff today. Go drive the car around, change some stuff on the transmission cooler, and drive it around some more. And
so
instead, I did yo-yos between here and the urgent care and the Walgreens. And after 6 hours of that, still didn't have any antibiotics for the old ear infection. But it's fine. I'll be fine.
Just get you an ear candle. You'll be fine. You'll be all right. Roll up some newspaper if you can't find an ear candle.
Yeah. Just light something on fire in your ear.
Yeah. You never used an ear candle before?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so cool. A lot of people will tell you it's crap, that it doesn't really work. It has.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude.
Man, I don't know.
Awesome.
I've never ear candled, but I Q-tip religiously.
Then you need ear candle.
Turns out, well, no, my Q-tip's always clean, man. I don't ever have that.
Because you're shoving all that junk in your ear hole.
Well, the doctor always says it's clean up in there, so I must be doing something. I rinse some dills out real good in the shower.
You're the exception to the rule then, brother.
I don't know. She didn't say like, oh, this thing's nasty inside. She just said, wow, you got an infection on your eardrum and one in the ear canal. Oops.
How you guys want to kick off this show? Let's talk about Q-tips.
Yeah. You know, you're not even supposed to use those in your ear.
Nope, you're not.
I bet 90% of the Q-tips that are used for ear, and you're not even supposed to do that.
I will say that safely 100% of the Q-tips I used go in my ear.
Yeah. Same.
Like to where I'm like doing this number. Oh, yeah, mm-hmm. And then
you kind of choke a little.
Yeah. I never choked myself with a Q-tip before. Toothbrush, yes.
You're in there nice and deep, and you're going,
toothbrush, yeah, every day.
Get the jumbo toothbrush?
No, I just have a really bad gag reflex, and every morning, every day.
All right.
I wish I was playing.
I feel like John's using them things wrong.
John's got him like taped together.
Get the hammer, like drive it in.
Hey, come here and help me with this.
Chuck it up in the D-wall. Mm-hmm. On the hammer setting.
There you go.
Yeah. There's ways.
Well, speaking of cleanliness, I got a message this week.
Man, look at that. That heap's a lot cleaner.
The fellers at Lowdown Fab Works and Steve, our faithful viewer, said it's clean. Tell John to shut up.
That's not what he said.
Nope, it's not what he said, but I'm not repeating that. It sure ain't. Apparently, you have met Mr. Griggs before.
Yeah. He has the vernacular of a machinist.
Yes, he does. I think one time he made a trucker blush. How about
doggies?
some of that?
That's clean AF.
Man, look at that.
That was way too nice for you.
You have no idea.
What Fro's not going to brag about is the patch panel he made and welded in. He did a really, really good job. I'll give it up.
Really?
Yep, he really absolutely did.
It was a necessity because I knew that once Bo saw it, he was not going to paint over it.
But enough about Fro. See how sharp those lines are and crispy? I did that. No, I'm just kidding. Fro killed the patch panel. And it wasn't just a flat piece of metal. I mean, it was what, 3 pieces you had to put together? And
3 pieces.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't a simple patch panel. So he did good, man.
I'm not going to tell anybody where it is because you're going to have to find it.
Makes me think I need to spend the $100 on that taillight panel for the Nova before you have to make me.
I'll say this: I learned on that patch panel that I will never use flux core again.
Yeah,
I can't I think I figured out why Jimmy claims to be as good a welder as he is. I think gas welders are just that much better.
gas
No, they
welder
are.
is a lot better.
They are, but you know what helps with flux core? It's some of this stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That helps quite a bit.
Yeah,
I say that because I don't have a bottle yet. As soon as I have a bottle, then I won't be using that junk anymore either.
It was really easy to weld.
a lot of times when people are welding, the biggest deal is they don't clean everything up good.
Oh, did I miss a picture? Or is this the second one?
This is the second one.
Okay. Picture really don't do it justice.
It really doesn't. I had some other pictures, but I didn't think they showed enough detail.
Yeah.
But if you look down that rail, it is gorgeous.
That roof had several awkward spots where you could tell someone had walked or stood on there, or
Yeah,
You ever been on the hood of that car, Fro?
I've been on the hood of that car. I don't think I've been on the roof of that car, but I know several family members that have.
Use that deal like a trampoline, huh?
It was when it was in the backyard over at Grandma and Grandpa's house. It was free game.
it wasn't a trampoline. It was more like something just heavy sat on it, and you know how the roof will curve like this and come up from the side. Well, it would curve and then just flat spot.
Yeah,
And then it caused a solid. I mean, I don't even know what it's called.
a crease.
Crease. Yes, there you go. Crease. After a little while of hammering on it, got those deals pretty good.
It
Pretty
was.
happy with it.
It's an emotional thing with me, so I have a hard time kind of saying what I think about it because, like, there are moments when things, like when you laid down that last coat of primer, and we kind of stepped back and looked at it. It was one of those things where it was like, man, I really wish there were certain people here to hang out with us on this one.
Yeah, it's hard to tell with all this. You know, we sand and do a little bit of body work and hammer and ollie and hammer and you really don't see the result until you know. In this case, it was just a coat of primer, but it makes everything. You get to see your work, and man, those lines are. I'm not gonna lie, they turned out nicer than I even thought they were going to. So, pretty stoked about that.
Yeah. You know what the biggest contributing factor was to how good that looks? I found other stuff to do.
Yeah, you put a lift kit on the back of my truck.
Yeah, good job with that.
Yeah, put a lift kit on my lower truck. On just the back.
I didn't know.
Neither did I.
Now it's got that stance.
turns out when you put upper springs in your cool springs for, I did it mainly because my truck's lowered. It hits bump stops pretty easily. So I wanted to put the bags in there to pretty much run no air pressure. I knew we weren't going to run a lot. But when I pull the car with, put the car on the trailer and pull it, my truck really squats. Well, these airbags, they'll take care of that. So it'll make it so much nicer. I didn't realize those bags with 20 pounds of pressure in them in each bag, it raises the truck like 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
And with no air in them, completely out, it's got to be 3/4 of an inch taller.
Probably.
In the rear. It is what it is. I'm just going to deal with it. It doesn't hit the bump stops anymore, so that's good. I'm just going to, whatever.
Did you drop the pressure all the way to 0 on those yet?
Yeah. Yep.
And it still don't bottom out?
No.
Perfect.
I pulled the trailer today too with no air in the bags, and it was fine also.
Nice.
Not with the car on it, but
I think my step one would have been to eliminate them bump stops.
They were chopped more. 70% of them were chopped off already.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Those new springs are just softer, I guess. It's okay. It doesn't look horrible. I was kind of a baby about it the other day. I'm like, whatever. I was wasting dang money. Raise my truck up. Brr, brr, brr. I'm gonna take that junk off there. No, I'm not. It's better with it. It's just
that didn't go exactly as planned.
I was talking
Better
to Devin,
bitch about it.
I was talking to Devin today. He's like, man, how are you feeling about your bags? I'm like, yeah, you know how it is, man. He goes, well, you can't have the best of both worlds. I said, why the hell can I?
Yeah.
That's all I want is the best of both worlds. Oh man.
The first thing I bought when I bought my my Silverado was a set of the McGoy's extended shackles to drop the back and level the truck. Still sitting on the workbench. I'll throw them in there one of these days when I'm down there, Fro.
I think I got 3 sets of those in this shop somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Does your truck
What
even squat?
Huh?
Does your truck even squat when you put a trailer on it? Does it squat at all?
Like if I pull the car up pretty good, it'll level the truck.
Oh yeah. So you're solid.
It'll just bring it down enough to level it. It didn't. Now I did haul my buddy's 1-ton Ram on my trailer that a few months ago. Hauled it to the dealership over in Illinois.
Yeah.
And it squatted that day.
There's a little difference, a little weight difference.
That was heavy. That dude weighs a lot more than a Nova.
But no, I went and I worked on the airbags on the back of Bo's truck. I helped Jimmy with the brakes on the back of the Lightning. Those looked really good. Almost like somebody knew what they were doing when they coated those calipers and brackets. They were pretty.
What? I know that guy.
Spectacular.
Also, the same guy that struggled all day long to paint one little piece. So I'm not feeling too awesome right now. I don't want to talk about it, but yes, the calipers and the stuff turned out good. The rotors, I like doing the hats on the rotors. That makes a lot of sense to me. I did the front and back of those rotors. The parts that always rust real bad.
Yep. No, they looked really good when we were piecing everything together, and Jimmy was trying out his overhead creeper this weekend. That was entertaining.
John, you should have seen these guys. I'm like, get up there and try it out. And they're like, I'm like, get up there, you sissies. You got to try it out. Either you're going to follow you or not. You got to learn right now.
I wish you would have been up there when he finally put all of his weight onto that platform at the top.
Yeah.
Because there was 2 little pieces of metal that were jabbing him. So he was planking on top of that thing.
I did it. It was fine.
It was.
I said this while we were there the other day. I looked at Fro and I looked at Jimmy and I go, man, never ever would I have thought that I was going to be the lightest guy here to try this deal out. I'm like, well, I don't know. I said, I'm about 270 right now. Where are you guys at? Like, yeah, you got it. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. That's
finally, I'm the skinny guy.
Yeah. Nice.
Not really.
But yeah, it was a entertaining weekend of watching everybody screw stuff up.
Whatever. Your car didn't get screwed up. Your car worked out.
My car is perfect.
It wants to be painted.
My car, then this is the hardest part is trying to explain this to people. My car is turning out so much better than I ever expected it to, not because I didn't think you were going to do a fine job, but because we had kind of talked about this and it was like, we're going to get this thing to driver quality. We're going to get this thing out there. It's going to be fine, perfect, good. And it is going to be so much better than driver quality.
That's because every time I look, I can't let that go. You know what I mean? That's a clear dent. Or there's all these little dents in the body lines all the way down. And I want those body lines to all be crispy. I mean, if we're going to do it.
If we're going to do it, might as well.
Make the body lines crispy. You know what I mean? That's one of the coolest thing about older cars that you don't see in newer cars are those solid body lines, man. That's what makes them sexy.
I was talking to Griggs about that earlier, and I said, the 50s cars are awesome because they're all bubbly and cool, but like you start getting into the 60s cars and all of those body lines are just like razor sharp, straight as an arrow all the way down.
Yeah. And
that's where the challenge comes in on those 60s cars is you don't have the flexibility of curved surfaces. It's just a slab.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I would say I like the sharp body lines. To me, that's where it's at. And it's very satisfying when you do this body work and because I've already put more time in this than I thought I was going to, just to be completely honest. Mm-hmm. We're not done, man. We made it this far. We're going to finish it out. It is going to be a little bit nicer than we had anticipated. But there is a stopping point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There is a point. Okay, this is where we're at. We're not going to put it on a rotisserie or nothing crazy, right? So, but the obvious stuff we're going to take care of. I don't know. I'm excited about it. A couple more weekends, we should be golden.
There were 2 dents I was worried about, and they're both gone. So,
yeah, absolutely gone.
They are absolutely gone. But what about this thing?
Man, so, hey, I'm a Mustang guy. You guys know this, but I'm not like a new Mustang guy. I'm like Fox body with BBK cold air. That's my and Z cam, Rex cam. But I saw this the other day, and I sent you guys a video of it in this form right here, in this trim, with these tires and everything. Did you guys see what it ran in the quarter mile?
I left my book in the house. I'm going to go grab it while you talk about that.
860 something at 150 something.
859 at 161 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's a twin turbo deal, 1,300 horsepower, 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. The article I read said that they're only making 30 of these cars, and they did say the price starts at $209,000.
I got it pulled up on the Shelby site right now.
Okay.
It says MSRP starting from $224,995.
Okay, so that's changed since I read it. So we talked about this earlier, John, and you said, man, could you imagine what it would take to make our heaps run those numbers? And I said, more than us getting financed to go get this car, right?
I don't know. I think with $250,000, I could get
No,
there.
well, but that's what I'm getting at. It goes right back to it. If you were able to get financed or spend 10 years building your own car to run those numbers, which would you rather do? My answer is I'm going to take the 10 years, even if I could go get the money for this car.
I don't think,
I'm
obviously
still-
none of us have the money to just go buy it.
No,
But I think the guy that buys this car has the money to just buy it.
I think it's going to sit in a garage is what I think.
Yeah. You
There'll be a couple. There'll be a couple.
finance this deal.
Yeah. There'll be a couple that people go out and drive and wreck, but most of these are going to sit in someone's collection.
Directly between a Hellcat and a Cybertruck.
Yeah, this is like the Hellcat killer. I read that too. Or no, it was the Demon Killer.
Yeah, that's what it was. Demon Killer.
Power adjustment via factory drive mode controls from 650 to 1,200 horsepower.
So is there like a knob on the dash and you can select your horsepower rating?
I don't know if they use knobs, but something to that effect.
I don't know these
Not like
newfangled
Not
cars.
like a Select-O-Matic on a friggin' Edsel.
That would kind of be funny though.
It would.
Where's
Let's bring
the
it back,
800
boys. We got the
horsepower?
right car for it. Let's do a push button selector.
Look how big those calipers are in the front.
Well-
And rotors. Jeez.
I'm sure you guys covered it, but it is capable of 200 miles per hour on the top end. I would want the biggest brake you could find as well.
I would hope to not have to need all that brake. You know what I'm saying?
See, but that's the thing. We live in an area of the world where deer run out in front of you from time to time.
Yeah.
We can't even own this car.
Like I said, man, even if I had the money to buy this car, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. This thing's amazing. I would just drive it all the time and tear it up. I'm in a pretty deer-free zone, the areas I travel.
I'm not.
I've never hit a deer. Hey, almost a deer pooped on my Cobra one time, on my black Cobra. I was that close. He ran across.
Scared the poop out of it.
I was coming home when I lived out on Monkey Island. I was coming to Miami one night, and he ran across, and I thought I heard something. And then when I pull over, once I got in town to check my car to see if it was messed up, there was just poop streaks down like the headlight down to like the middle of the door. I know it's gross, but thought I had to share.
That's a little closer than I would want it to get.
Yeah, I scared the poop out of him.
All right.
Oh, there's no.
Next topic. Circuit 2025 class rules. They covered this on Drag, Drive, Repeat. However, the Joe Diffie class is what we're going to be mainly paying attention to because it was it's initially called a tailgate class. But your wagon is not allowed.
Elcos and Ranchos are.
It's true.
Vehicle with bed and tailgate only. Wagons don't have a bed.
He's going to show us his tailgate, though. It's basically just a truck with a camper.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're going to allow a truck with a camper.
No reason not to.
Even with that presentation there, it's still not in the Joe Diffie class. I get
It's
it.
not.
It needs a bed. It's like I said, I don't have an 8-foot bed that never has to be made. So I get it.
No SUVs or wagons.
So that means your V8
wonder-
swap Blazer.
So somebody just wants the intrinsic value of saying it's a truck, a true truck class,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is fine.
No back half allowed.
But then if you just call it a truck class, you run into people who say, no, Camino and Rancho, those aren't trucks.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they do the tailgate. Bed and it makes sense. I get it.
What'd you say, Fro?
I don't remember.
Oh, you said no back half allowed. It says back half allowed.
Oh, it does say. I thought it said no back half allowed. That's my bad.
No,
Sorry.
there's no SUVs or wagons. Period. Back half allowed.
I'll be darned. But there's the rest of the classes.
Hey, wait, go back.
Actually, there are some that I've left out of this now that I'm looking at it, because the unlimited class is not on here.
I'm going back.
Thank you. No SUVs or wagons. Back half allowed. 2-wheel drive, any tire. Like any. Great big floppy ones.
Oh, yeah.
Little bitty sticky ones. Whatever you want to stick in it. 4-wheel drive, 1050 tire max width. Any single power adder. Any fuel. Radial or slick only. 2 passes per day. Top 4 shootout last day. Okay.
What other option would there be out there besides radial or slick?
Hard tire.
Yeah, they don't want people showing up with a hard tire to try to race the tailgate class.
Isn't a hard tire a radial?
No.
Define hard tire for me. I don't get this. Apparently.
200 tread wear or higher, not a drag radial.
Oh.
When they say radial, it's not just like a radial tire. It's
I gotcha.
It's not like radial or bias plies. It's a drag radial.
Okay. That makes sense.
My feeling is they probably don't want to. I mean, they want these trucks to race all at the same time, and they're not going to want to wait till 2 hours before the track closes to get the passes in. Because if you're on a hard tire, you track don't open until last 2 hours of the event, which is super handy. I'm a fan of that rule. I'd like more of that rule. My vote is that if we could get legislation passed on this, you guys know anybody that could make like nationwide legislation? Test and tune the last 20% of the night is for hard tire guys.
And it's not just because the hard tires chunk out the tracks, right? Ish. Fro, this is for you.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times when guys are running hard tire, especially at test and tunes, they're rolling in their dailies. They drive up down dirt roads and they get out there and they wheel hop and they shake the tires and all that junk falls out of their cars and gets on the track and ruins it.
It's not even like, oh, hey, look at all this junk that fell out, like a big old mud glob or something. It's just the dust that comes off of a daily driven.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, some of these tracks, like especially like Mocan, there's a lot of those trucks live on a dirt road and then go. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't do it while the track is prepped for slick and radial.
It just makes it harder for slick and radial guys. Radial guys even more so, I think, right?
Yeah, you got a little glue on that deal.
To get down clean.
Well, and there was that Chrysler Newport that was at the circuit. I think it was a Newport. But yeah, his first pass, he knocked everything off the bottom of that car.
Yeah.
And that entire left lane, the burnout area just looked terrible for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and that's one of the main reasons right there.
That makes sense. Now that you put it like that, I just assumed radial was radial.
No, drag radial.
Drag radial.
So that tells me, Narcs, there are two spelling errors or two things that need to be redefined on here. Radial needs to be drag radial, and ranchos are
No.
actually rancheros.
No. Anybody who's reading this knows what radials means.
It's and I get that, but I'm also not the drag racing guy. So
Yeah,
if
but
now
I-
you know.
the guy
Now
that
you-
enters this class is going to know what a radial means.
right, and I get that, but it's one of those things that like I'm a toddler stepping into a movie.
What about a brat? What about a caballero?
Ooh,
we just-
Subaru Brat.
Are we
That,
just
that
to,
would fit. It's got a
are
bed.
we just to assume that since Elcos and Ranchos are in, that the brat and the caballero are in?
I would think so. Why wouldn't they be?
Okay.
I want to see who's V8 swapping a Subaru Brat.
I mean, show up with a Subaru brat. You want to donate? I'll drop this pig in anything.
Big tire brat.
Put some big tires and a big block and a brat. See how that pans out.
Hey, they had that Dodge Rampage that had a Hellcat Hemi in the back of it. Doesn't say anything about not having a motor in the back.
Okay, you can move on to the next class.
All right, there is no next class. I didn't get deep into this. I've got the rules.
There's
pulled
another
up.
slide I didn't read.
Say what?
Bo backed it out. We didn't go to the other slide. What the other
Oh,
slide?
okay, hold
Put
on,
all the
hold
rest
on.
of the classes.
Well, and I know there's a couple that I left out because, like I said,
Hey, real quick, the Subaru Brat, the Brat weighs 2,200 pounds.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
time to go buy a Brat.
Time we cut everything out you don't need, then put a cage in it. I think we'd be,
2,300 pounds.
I'm going to say 25, 26 with a big block.
Oh, with a big block. Yeah.
Yeah.
All hard tires run out of the groove.
You know what that means, Fro?
That means don't get in the sticky parts. It says it right there.
Straddle the sticky parts. That's a good
Heard that before.
it's a good piece of advice.
It's a good rule of thumb.
Really, no matter where you're at.
No.
Eating a sandwich, don't grab the sticky part. Just straddle.
But yeah, apparently these are the new classes: heavyweight, Joe Diffie, 12-0, and 11-0. You're still going to have you versus you. You're still going to have unlimited. You're still going to have all those guys out there.
So they just dropped the 13-0 class and added the 11, right?
Give me a second here, and I'm going to go look.
I think there ever was a 13-0 class. It was everything above 10-0 could run you versus you.
I think there was a 13-0 class. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm lying, dude. I'm joking. I got nothing.
No, you're good. I'm scanning through here right now.
It's okay. It's okay.
Street race, power adder, all motor small block, all motor big block, gas or hot rod, stick shift. You versus you, 11-0, 12-0, motorcycle, small tire. They have a 650 index, 8th mile.
They did that last
On, there you go. Bracket car.
We'll run a bunch of 650s. I can't hit the nail on the head. You gotta be able to hit the nail on the head. I mean, maybe
Man, tailgate class.
figure it out. But
Heavyweight class is no ballast, no meth. It's funny.
Who do who's your money on for the heavyweight class?
Yacht 1.
Yeah, that deal's there. There's nobody bringing him
Car's
out.
so awesome.
I know, right?
Nothing that I would ever build myself. But man, that thing is cool.
Yeah.
Just fun. to
Jordy
look
and I almost bought something that ugly.
Yeah, we drove all the way to someplace like west of Pahuska. What else is that? Like Collinsville or I don't know.
I don't remember.
for Ford. It's like a 2-door LTD.
Yeah, 2-door LTD wagon. Had to have been late 70s, or I think it was 79.
Yeah.
You guys almost got a wagon instead of the Nova?
Oh, no, that wasn't a wagon. A wagon
No,
would have been
a
cool.
wagon.
Oh, I thought you said wagon.
No, this thing was ugly.
It was a boat.
What was it? Tell me.
It was
gotta look it
hardcore.
up.
I thought
What
it
was
was gonna be more Caprice like.
What
Yeah.
year was it?
It's like a
79.
79? Like a 2-door Caprice. Man, that's money shot. That's good stuff.
2-door LTD 79 model, not so much.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe this is Ford's swing at trying to make a cool car like the Caprice.
It looks like a big Granada.
It really does.
My mom had a Granada when I was young.
Really big. I think our thought there was if you can't get a hotel, it's got a front seat and a back seat that we could both, we could just, you take the front and I'll take the back.
Yeah.
Camp right there in that car.
I think you guys made the right choice by going with the Nova.
Hold on. I may have been off on that year. Because
I think
79
if it's
does look like a Granada.
Yeah, it does. Like a big Granada.
I think
Like I
this
said,
was
my
an
mom had a
older-
Granada and it was a pile of crap.
We all grew up with cars that were piles of crap, and now some of
I
them
mean, this was, when I told you how the Pickards don't mind walking, that's one of the reasons that's that car.
Ooh, go back to 77.
Is it a different, totally
Yeah,
different?
it's different.
That's what you guys looked at?
Yeah, imagine Lincoln Town Car without all that class and dignity.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no.
Disgusting car.
My grandma had a Cougar that body style.
Yes, that would be the Cougar.
It was humongous. I used to
Yeah,
lay in
that's
the
the
back
car.
deck of that car.
I think it even had that Landau top, the quarter vinyl deal.
Well, you
I believe
guys-
you're correct.
You guys scraped by on that one, didn't you? You got lucky.
Ed,
I think honestly, it wasn't that bad. I was almost sold, but some of the like the lights and stuff, I was like, man, we might have trouble finding that because nobody in their right mind is repopping parts for this heat.
Man, don't get me started. Next car I buy, it's going to be an S10 or a Ranger or something
It's
there's
gonna
a
be-
billion of.
Yeah, something there's a
Just having
billion
something
of.
different. Huh?
What you want to get is the Nova that all of the parts are 1 or 2 year specific and don't cross over to the good years.
yes.
Forget, I want to be
68,
different.
69, 70, 71, 72. Man, screw it. Let's change. Come on, Chevy. Get off the crack.
The great thing about the 77 LTD is I can remember the one of the few times I went to Branson, my aunt had a 77 LTD, and me and like 8 of my closest family members got in that car and headed for Branson. You can just keep piling people into those things.
Yeah.
They don't get full. Never have.
When when I was little, my grandparents had that trucking company and they had I think it was like a 70s model Lincoln town car. Like it was big. And anytime like our vehicles broke down or something, my mom would just go get that and drive it. And we thought it was the coolest thing ever because, gosh, this thing's huge. Probably got like 8 miles a gallon.
Because as a kid, you can build up speed running across that thing while you're driving down the road.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have no seatbelts back then.
Yeah. I think we could both lay down in the back seat and not even touch. There's that much room.
You gotta love those
you can
cars.
literally play tag in there.
We could play the carpet is lava for hours, just jumping back and forth from thing to thing.
Oh, yes. Bo, what would you do with this?
pulled the motor and trans out of it and put it in the corner of my shop for 3 years.
Right. It's really
I've
all
done that. I've done that.
really all you could do.
No, I know what you're getting at. Yeah. So, so I'm still undecided. I think what I like about this truck is the amount of work this guy has put into it. And when I first glanced at this, I showed this to Fro there. I'm like, check this out. I thought he just took the bed off of an old truck and the front clip of an old truck and put on a new cab and chassis. And the Fro's like, oh, I know that truck. And he got to Instagram and he started showing me, man, this guy has done a ton of work. Ton. And I think maybe that's why I don't hate it, because I respect the amount of work put into it and how good it looks.
There's something you're going to hate on every vehicle. Like and there's some people that are just going to hate certain vehicles.
There's not one thing I hate about my wagon. I love every bit of it.
Really? You love
every square inch of it. I'm not kidding.
But no, this truck, if you get a chance, go on the Instagram, check it out. It's under The Ugly Truck, all one word. This guy, the fact that you really can't tell what he's done tells you what he's done is actually pretty good. As far as the quality of work. But most of this is sectioned in panels from like a 67 Chevy pickup. He found a way to make the fenders and the hood work with that front end, because if you look, there's a kick up at the back of that front fender that's not there on 67s, but it is there on 2004s. The hood's been reworked. He cut out sections of the doors and welded in patch panels from a 67 there so he could carry that body line all the way down. It's running the 67 taillights. It's running the beds had sections of 67 bed welded into it. Like there's a lot of work there.
John is over here going in his brain right now, bored.
Now, just to start an argument, there is something I hate about this truck, and I've always hated this about 67, 68, 69 front ends. I don't know who invented the front roll pan for these trucks, but stop, because it doesn't work.
Yeah, you don't need a front roll pan. And the 67 hood laying back, that's my least favorite of that body style.
That's my most favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I love that kickback on the hood.
I think 69 and 70 were the only 2 good years. They had the best grill, hood, everything combo. I'm not
from a guy who rocks a flat bill.
What? I don't know. Maybe when the dude gets this thing done, it'll look cool. But I got my doubts. I will say, though, like if it's this or the Thunderbird on Thunderbird or the what was the other one?
I don't remember. I'm trying to think.
Was it
a Corvette turned into something?
A Corvette grafted onto
Camaro, grafted onto a 57 Chevy.
Yeah.
That is better.
I will say this.
At least better.
For the record, I've never been a fan of putting a newer body style bed. Usually they're step side beds on the 67 and 72 Chevy cabs. I've never liked that. Or vice versa. When they put the older beds on the newer cabs, I've never been a fan of that. You know?
Yeah.
But that truck,
I think it might be just because you really never see a 4-door C10.
Very rarely. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't like the front roll pan either, but it's a pretty custom truck. So why not take it all the way?
I was going to say, there's not anything I want to take away from that. The guy's obviously put a lot of work into it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a cool truck when it's done, regardless of whether John likes it or not, because, he's already over there looking at Marketplace for other stuff.
I was looking at the rest of the pictures of it, trying to find some redeeming quality.
That poor guy is going to catch his podcast like 10 years from now. He's going to be like, man, those guys just really didn't like my truck, did they?
No, I like the truck.
Yeah, best 2 out of 3. I think you take it home. But maybe if it was a 4-door, I'd think different. The cab just looks too
Wrong.
big. Oh, it just looks. Like I say, maybe when it gets to be all one color, when it's all finished out, I have no doubt that he's going to put the nice door handles on it.
Now, could you imagine if he tried using square body parts?
Never work.
That would be ridiculous.
You know what's crazy to think about? Like they went from the 60 to 66, like my C10, and then they like revolutionized the truck world, all like dropped it on its head when they got a 67 come out. Like that looks nothing at all like a
complete change.
Like a 63, 4, 5, 6. And it looks almost like a more modern truck than a square body. Like it almost looks like they should have went from the 66 straight to 73 and maybe only give us like 10 years of those and then 10 years of this body style.
They were still doing
and that'd have been so good. Then there'd be
rounded.
Huh?
They were still into the bubble and rounded stuff then though with the trucks.
Which I mean
they were still not
more so matches a 94 5 OBS. Like I think the OBS and the 67 to 72 are closer kinfolk than the square body.
I agree.
Square body's still only getting invited.
I've never thought about it, but I agree with that. Yeah.
Square body's only getting invited to family reunions because everybody likes them so much. So and I think they're only so popular because they shoved them in your face from what 73 to 87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like just keep taking it.
Unless you go with a 1 ton or a 3/4 ton, and then it was all the way up to 92.
Yeah.
But no, if you go back through time, like that was Chevy's thing is you, as soon as you got into the 80 line, which was what 49 to 54, that truck looks absolutely nothing like the 55 to 60s.
Yeah.
And then the 60s look nothing like those. They use the same beds on the step sides, but like it was always changing. And then you got up to the OBS, and that's really the last time. After that, they just kind of made small changes, it seems like, going from there. Didn't seem like there's been a huge change since 1999. I mean, they've gotten uglier. The new 3/4 tons are ugly as hell. I got a friend who has one. But
debatable.
But no, it's I think you're right. I think the 67 to 72, I think when they released it, they did something right. And then in 73, they released a square body. And everybody just waited for it to grab traction and waited, and it just really didn't until now. Now you can't get a hold of one for under 10 grand. But when the OBS came out, I think you're right. I think it looks a lot more like the 67s than it does any of the other than it does the square body. But we need to debate those hoods because I think 67 hood is so much better. I think the 68 to 72 hood looks like a trucker hat, and the 67 looks like something cool.
Not to change the subject, but I have to point it out.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of like watching a kung fu movie.
Now that sucks.
It's catching
what?
me.
I'm lagging.
There's a delay.
Oh.
Sorry, didn't mean to point that out, but I had to because it's funny.
Ah, you're good. But what else you guys got?
Oh, you know, same old, same old.
How's the wagon running?
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that. Turns out the guy figures out that IAX on this deal, which I think there was other issues going on. But after lots of just making changes, not even really changes, just trying the same deal over and over and over, the Terminator finally started doing its thing. Now every time I drive it, it gets better. So
Awesome.
pretty happy with that. Like to the point where I'm ready to put the bottle back in it now. For real.
Like bought a bottle and everything.
I went and bought another bottle. Yeah. Oh, Barron's Racing in Joplin. They had some bottles, some used bottles for sale. $125, man. I went up there to pick it up and I paid him. And I said, can I go and get this thing filled while I'm here? He goes, man, we filled it up. It's good to go. Snap.
Man.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
That's a deal. It's a $70 value.
They got good stuff in there.
Yeah. It's a smaller storefront, but it's packed full of cool stuff. And they can get anything.
Really?
They've always got tires. If you're looking for tires, seems like they've always got them.
Huh.
Yeah. And nitrous, always, for me, that's where I go get my bottles now. I don't want another circuit issue.
Nobody wants that.
No,
Well,
nitrous, car gets slow.
You guys want to play the marketplace game at the request of one of our listeners?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I have tonight
$37.50.
I believe it's 4 marketplace ads. 4 marketplace ads, no price.
7,600.
Let's go.
78 Chevy 3500 regular cab long bed. 454 turbo 400 transmission. Transmission is rebuilt and all of the suspension. Fuel system, wheels, and tires all have maybe 75 miles. 6.8 drop, was Western chassis drop with helper bags, so it sits higher.
Lift kit.
Drop shocks, new upper and lower control arms, tie rods, all new fuel tanks, switchover valves, lines, fuel pump, carb, billet starter, plugs and wires, 22-inch custom cut wheels, direct bolts so you don't need adapters. Has heat and air, does not work. No, I will not sell the wheels separately.
The billet starter's kind of a weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I dig it.
I do dig it. That's
man, that's cool.
I never have liked those tailgates, but I agree.
Yeah, not a fan of the tailgate. It is not clean anywhere, really.
It's not
the
overly
interior
clean.
is.
Strictly because the wheels and suspension, I'm going to go 18.9. I'm going high. Maybe higher.
That's what you think he wants for it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Where you at, Doherty?
Oh, 12.5. And I want to buy it for 7,800.
Oh, man, me too.
So you buy it at 8. You said 12.5. What did you say, Bo?
I said on what I think he's asking for it.
Yeah.
18.9.
It could be something silly like 24 grand.
I was thinking 22 something.
Really?
But 18.9 is what
I don't know. I'm all over the place because one, it's got cool stuff, and a few weekends in at Pickard's Performance Coatings, and it would be slick AF. But as is, it's just got the cool stuff thrown at it, and it's hanging out. Wishing somebody had cleaned some things up.
Mike, if you're writing down score, John wins this one. This truck is going for $13,500 on
Well,
market.
that's not bad, man. That's not horrible.
That the guy's in his right mind. Is what it is.
Okay.
He's not
So
clinically insane.
from what I've noticed, the stuff I've looked at, if it's a truck like this, just because they got nice wheels on it, it seems like they always want way more than what it's worth. You know what I mean? Just because the wheels
Nice.
and a lowering kit.
Yeah,
I mean, I dig it.
I do too.
It's definitely not a bad looking truck. And as I said earlier, you can't get a hold of a square body for under 10 anymore. So
If it was $9,000, I would give $9,000 for it.
shoot him a text. Maybe he's into wagons.
I mean, my son will get my truck and I'll drive that. No, I'm not trading the wagon. No.
Wouldn't be the first time we did it on the show.
See that hitch on the back? That's what I will need it. That's what I need it for.
Yeah, he's pulling the wagon with this deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
go ahead and say it on the show. I'm not getting rid of the wagon.
Ever.
I've thought about it several times and even made the offer to people for trades that almost went through and it scared the crap out of me. So I'm just not going to do it ever again.
You know how cool it would look to two-tone that truck, same colors as the wagon,
Ooh.
and then pull the wagon with it.
Too. And I would even paint the trailer to match.
Yeah,
I would be that guy.
And you would have
And then go there and run 1150s.
Just
Show
sit, there,
him what,
sit there and point at your billet starter and
billet starter under that motor. Like he didn't clean anything else up on it.
They already have.
They don't even have the Edelbrock script valve covers everybody bought from the O'Reilly's performance wall and threw on them.
Bo, you want to read this one off?
Box body chrome molly roller 92 Mustang with a title, Mike Duffy chrome molly, funny car cage, tubular K member, subframe connectors, drive shaft loop, racecraft tubular steering column, gutted doors with Lexan, steel doors with glass and regulators, Scott rod dash and bulkhead. John, you won the last round. You get first.
Did it say the cage was started?
Chrome Molly, Mike Duffy cage.
Oh, geez.
Let's double check that.
So there's monies involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's your cage.
Ooh, doggies. I mean, there's a lot of work left to do on this rig. Like a lot.
There is a lot. The only thing we're trying to figure out is what's it going for right now.
10-5.
Yeah, I was just a tickle north of that, but not much.
Well, I was
saying
way
like-
over on the other one. So
I was
10-5.
saying like 12, 5, 13, somewhere in that neighborhood. That's what he thinks he's going to get. But I think just south of where Bo said is what he's actually going to get.
Yeah.
Stuff slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
Where would
Like-
you be on board with it?
Well, I'm cheap. That's the problem.
Yeah. I'm cheap, but I also know that like that'd be a
Listen, if I was going to build a serious car, like to go do, if I was going to, I would have to, no, okay, I'm in the boat where I'd have to sell the wagon to do that. If I was to sell the wagon to build something like this, I'd be good at $5,500 for a car like that. And I know that's super cheap, but that's where I'd have to be.
yeah.
And that's kicking someone in the balls.
Well, yeah, but I mean if you're at this point, something else has already happened and your balls are already sore.
Yeah.
You already got kicked.
So
Just take
can
it.
I sway your opinion one way or the other?
Yeah. Tell us the information you're leaving out.
The information I'm leaving out is this is the one recommended by Mike because he knew it was going to throw you off.
So it's going to be like 20 grand.
This car has to be a typo.
Yeah.
Is it 1, 2,
Because-
3, 4, 5?
It is listed at $3,000.
Well,
Really?
Yep.
Daddy might be buying a Fox body.
Yeah.
John just found a new home for the big block.
That's
I would do that. That's probably be cheaper to buy something like that and throw the big block and all my electronics and everything in it than actually get a cage put in my car.
and that can't be right.
That's what I was thinking. Is it can't be right, but that is what the ad said.
Like John said, something's already happened. Dude's already been kicked in the junk.
Yeah, probably a divorce, something like that.
Yeah.
Man,
What? I'm just throwing out what it would take for me to drop that low on that.
I would rather be like, man, chainsaw accident, lost 3 toes.
Yeah.
Can't
That's
walk right.
exactly what I was thinking. Had to do with the chainsaw for sure.
See?
Guy needs money for ED medication. I mean, come on. John, you're up.
1961 Chevrolet Classic sedan 4-door. 1961 Chevy Bel Air. Gen 4 6-liter 4L60 air ride, vintage air, power disc, power brake, power steering. It's got blue teeth. New interior, owned since 2019. May consider trade for 69 Dodge Dart or traditional built Model A hot rod. All BS offers will be ignored. Message for pictures or details. Fix.
It's nice.
Very cool.
It is a 4-door, so there are a lot of people who are going to go, oh, that's a parts car.
Hold on. So
Oh
technically,
my
I won
gosh.
last round.
Look at that shifter.
Oh, that's right. You did win last
Hey,
year.
and
or last
I
round.
almost threw out the $1 too. That would have won.
Who's he trying to impress?
That's a good looking car, but he's making up for something with that shifter.
Yeah.
Where's that thing go?
Through the roof.
To the moon, Alice.
To the moon.
He adjusts his rearview mirror when he's in drive.
This is a hard one because I don't ever price cars like this.
Nope.
And I sure go back to that engine pick though. And those are some serious brackets for the alternator and AC compressor though.
Yes, they are.
Looks like
It's
a
a
Pro
very-
Charger bracket.
It's a very clean install.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's kind of weird. Like, let's put a period correct looking battery and a
Yeah,
6-liter LS
the new
with a bunch of billet, like
27.5.
34.5,
And where would you be in it to buy it?
17.
I mean, if he changes out that shifter handle, I mean, if I was looking for something like this, I don't know, 20.
Okay. So one more time on your guesses. I want to make sure I'm right on this. Bo was at 27.5.
27.5.
John was at 34.5.
Yeah.
Mark another point for Bo. That one is $28,000.
Choo!
Nailed it.
He'd come down to 27.5, guaranteed.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. For sure. He's
He
all
would
over
probably
that.
take 34 if you offered it though, too. So
Oh,
really,
you know what? I left
Yeah.
out one picture.
Oh crap. Yeah, I would have said I'm not buying this thing because how much you think that back glass is gonna cost? With a good crack in it.
you almost can't tell if he's going forward or backwards, though. Looks the same. You just kick me off.
No, I kicked him off.
I do love them tail lights. Those are the good stuff. That's,
All
a,
right.
good,
That's a cool car.
it's a good era car. It's a cool car. And I
Last
bet you
and
it's
certainly
kind of
least.
priced right.
Shut up.
Nope. Thanks for watching, guys.
I have a reason for
later.
this. I have a reason for this. 2008 Yamaha Vino, custom made, based off a Yamaha Vino 125. It's silly, sketchy to ride, and I need room for other projects. Comes with paperwork from auction. Has all lights to be street legal. Does run, but hasn't run in 6 months. Commonly asked question: is it real? Answer: yes, I made it. Open to trades. Blah 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 blah. Nobody cares. You can tell by the silence.
What does the sticker right there say?
It does. It says it.
It does.
Fro?
I literally did this just to see his face change when that sticker popped up.
Why? Why do we?
What's your deal?
Yeah.
Last week with the wheels and now this?
What I was thinking on this one is you throw a VP Racing Fuel sticker on the side or over that sticker that's there and use that for your pit vehicle when you're out.
You gotta have a whole trailer to haul it in.
It is pretty big.
It's huge.
But at $500, it'd be a good time.
I don't get
I'm out.
I'm out.
We
What's it
didn't
look like
even
with
have
the
to.
barrel
We
off
didn't
of?
even have to guess that money. We just said it.
I wasn't going to make you guess the money on that.
I would have guessed higher than $500 though.
Yeah, I was gonna guess 750, and what I would gave for it was whatever that I knew that I could get back out of it at the scrapyard.
What if someone offered you a skidon't for that?
Man, barrel bike or the skidon't? I'm keeping the barrel bike.
Yeah, I'm going barrel bike for sure.
You know what I can do with that barrel bike and a plasma cutter?
Make it a non-barrel bike.
Yeah.
Is it better than the wheels from last week?
No.
Oh, all right. Anything else you guys want to throw on the end of this? Because I think that's pretty much a wrap.
No.
Nope. That's it. I got all that about it.
There you go.